a special edition of the Who Dat Jedi podcast. Not only is it May the 4th, it is our 75th episode.
Woo!
And this is the first episode we've done in the presence of one another for over a year.
Also worth a woo.
So there's a whole big bunch of celebrations that come in here. And, you know, we mentioned on the podcast last week, we are at Zony Mash tonight. And for A Force for Good, Dave, and you don't have to say it in too close into that microphone because your voice was huge there.
Alrighty.
But tell us what's going on in this event. This is part of Give NOLA Day. So just remind folks why we're out here.
Yeah, we're just out here trying to raise money for folks. You know, Give NOLA Day is a really big part of this community. People really turn out big for this. So we're out here at an event sponsored by the Jewish Federation of New Orleans, which is where my wife works. That's not a cause that we are specifically trying to push onto people. It's more about the general spirit of the thing. Give NOLA Day, May the 4th, have a good time.
And we're sporting new T-shirts, and we have stickers and my 501st trading cards. So make sure you. I'm acting like we're doing this as a live feed. You guys realize this? I'm like, you know, come on down to Dell's Stereo and Sound.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I thought, well, like, it's probably a little after the fact where people are going to be hearing about Give NOLA Day, but there's always next year, right?
So Fredo, you're our news guy. What big things have been talked about on May the 4th? What did Lucasfilm grant us this year?
So not much really in terms of news. Bad Batch premiered over on Disney Plus.
Have either of you guys watched it yet?
Not a moment. Haven't had the time.
You guys might be able to share that. Like I said,
Yeah.
Sorry, it'd be some editing here. But otherwise, they kind of gave us squat. Last year, it's like we got all of the Disney Plus announcements, right, and movie announcements. I remember we were walking the dogs at City Park, and all of a sudden my phone just kept lighting up on all the announcements that they were making. This year, not so much. We got Grogu on the Google app. I know that.
And I wonder if it's because we got all the good stuff with that Disney call, you know, when they revealed Rogue Squadron and everything else.
Now we did see, however, maybe we saw the real lightsaber in action.
The one that's going to be on sale for $400 at
If
Galaxy's
you're lucky,
Edge.
yeah.
That actually retracts and expands and lights up.
You know, however, the curmudgeon in me is like going, they fix that in post so it doesn't look like, you know, when you get it, it's going to go, you know, and then get stuck halfway through. I wonder how many takes they had on that.
Yeah, my one question is, I mean, for me, the big test is going to be, can they be swung at and hit? Because you can do that with
You
the
want to
ones.
attack people?
Well, no, what I mean is you can use the Galaxy's Edge lightsabers against one another. They can take a good beating up, you know, as they fight, as people duel. But can you do that with these ones?
Would you want to if they cost $500 or whatever? You know, I mean that's.
So my brother-in-law actually, he sent me the link, and he sent me a text, and he said, "Does this change your mind for the Disney Cruise Line, or for the
Galactic Star Cruiser?
the Galactic Star Cruiser?" And I said, "No." It just now looks like Star Wars prison, and you can buy a shank if you want, you know, a shiv or whatever.
That's right. You're in Star Wars Oz.
That's right, Star Wars Oz. That's a funny thing. I do have to share this real quick. My mother-in-law sends me a text. She and my father-in-law were in Wisconsin for a memorial service, and she'd send a text. She knows how much I do not like The Wizard of Oz, and she said, "You know, The Wizard of Oz is much better when you're drinking."
Well, yeah, that's when the whole dark side of The Wizard of Oz kind of got connected. Was people watching it and doing all sorts of mind-expanding substances. So I made it interesting.
So anyway, I digress. I don't know, you know, like I said, but it was kind of an underwhelming so far news day for Star Wars.
Very much. I have feelings about this, but I think we're going to save this discussion for another episode.
Yeah.
That's right. Tonight we're going to be kind of herky jerky here. You're going to hear a lot of, hard stops and cuts and stuff like that. But we're going to get people playing trivia with us. We might actually have a competition, like you got to beat Olivia or something.
Good luck.
So yeah, we'll be doing some trivia. We'll be try to walk around and ask people what their favorite Star Wars moments were, things like that, and drink beer. So, but this is awesome doing this together. That sounded really dirty, but I mean this is awesome. So, but hey, Who Dat Jedi podcast. We'll be back with some trivia and things like that. All right, so we have our first trivia extravaganza for the night, and actually he doesn't know that I'm gonna do this, but we're gonna go best of 5. It's going to be Fredo versus Olivia. Olivia, as you remember, is Dave's daughter. She is the reigning Who Dat Jedi podcast trivia champion. And I need to get my reading glasses further down the nose so I can read these things. Glad this isn't a video podcast. All right. So, first one to Olivia. You get to start off since you are the reigning champ. What large beasts are seen grazing on Tatooine not far from the parked Naboo Royal Starship? What large beasts are seen grazing on Tatooine not far from the parked Naboo Royal Starship?
I forget what they're called, but they were those brown fur things that I used to think as Tatooine cows.
I'm going to give that to her. I mean, she described them. Yeah, they're... Well, wait a minute. No, they're not. No, they're not the big furry ones. I would have been wrong. I'm sorry. It was a dewback. It's more the big lizard. I was thinking banthas. Were you thinking banthas?
Yes,
the big
I was
elephant
thinking
thing?
banthas.
Yeah, see, I think this card is wrong. So, okay, so, sorry.
You can actually see banthas if you look closely.
You can. I thought so, too. There's banthas in the distance.
They were in the background. They were in the background.
Am I making stuff up? I don't know. Did Olivia and I watch the director's cut or what? All right, Fredo. So it's you're 0 for 5 right now. But Fredo, here's yours. Remember, he sometimes gets the hardest ones on the show. How many service trenches on the first Death Star contain a power coupling that can disable the tractor beam? How many service trenches on the first Death Star contain a power coupling that can disable the tractor beam?
Okay, I'm just going to take a wild stab in the dark because the line's running through my head, but except for the number, 42.
That's the answer to all the universe and everything, right? But no, here it is 7. So we are tied at 0-0. So, all right.
Best of 4.
Here we go. All right. To Olivia. Who is Qui-Gon Jinn talking to when the Sith probe droid first spots him?
I'm thinking back.
Who was Qui-Gon Jinn talking to when the Sith probe droid first spots him?
I feel like it might be Obi-Wan or somebody in that part where they were on that bad guy ship. I feel like it's someone from that ship or Obi-Wan.
The answer is Watto.
Oh, Watto, yeah,
yeah.
the guy who Anakin worked for.
That's right.
For a long time.
That's right. All right. So, Fredo, how does Luke address Darth Vader for the first time on Endor's Imperial landing platform?
It's kind of a gimme, but I'll take it, and I'll go with Father.
It is Father. Fredo is up 1-0.
I see why he said Father because he basically in one of the movies he admitted himself.
Yep. All right.
Admitted himself.
Put my glasses back on. All right, Olivia, to you. Who sits next to Luke at the briefing prior to the first Death Star battle? Who sits next to Luke at the briefing prior to the first Death Star battle? Give you a hint. It's a rebel pilot.
Rebel pilot. I forget his name, but I know it was one of Luke's friends. Like one of his friends.
Yeah, you're gonna have to narrow it down.
Get his name, but like they talked earlier in the movie when they were like in the bay thingy where all the ships are. I forget his name. It's hard to remember his name.
Alright.
Well, I'll give you a multiple choice. Is it Dak, Biggs, or Wedge?
I think it's the third one, maybe?
You think it's Wedge?
What?
You are correct. That is the correct answer. It's Wedge. Wedge Antilles.
I thought it was Wedge because in Star Wars, people have kind of weird names sometimes.
They do. And
Sometimes.
actually, this one was fake Wedge because there are two people playing Wedge in that movie.
Yeah,
All
because
right.
that wedge don't look like real wedge.
All right. So what do we have 1-1?
1-1.
I think we're gonna do two more because I've lost count. All right. So Fredo, what planet's moon hides a rebel base amidst ancient Masasi temples?
Stab in the dark. No, I'm joking. Yavin 4.
It is Yavin 4. He got an easy one there, Olivia.
I've played a game, and the setting was Yavin 4. It was hard. It was hard.
It was.
All right, Olivia. In episode 3, who stows away on Senator Amidala's starship?
Which one was episode 3
The
again?
Revenge of the Sith.
That one.
Aaron's favorite.
Who stows away on Senator Amidala's starship? It's towards the end of the movie. I'll give you, okay, we'll make it multiple choice.
Okay.
Okay. Was it Anakin, Obi-Wan, or Mace Windu?
Definitely not Mace Windu because he doesn't appear a lot in the movies.
Okay, so we've narrowed it down.
So cross him out.
Okay. So Anakin or Obi-Wan?
I think it was Anakin because he's a rule bender. He's a rule breaker.
It was Obi-Wan.
Oh.
Obi-Wan, he snuck out because he was trying to find Anakin. That was right before they
Oh,
had
yeah.
the big duel.
Because Anakin like ran away because he had like visions and stuff.
All right, so Fredo, this is our last question for this round. Who suggests that the Republic gunships, quote, aim right above the fuel cells of the Trade Federation starships escaping from Geonosis?
Would that be Anakin?
That would be Anakin. What's the last name, please?
Skywalker?
Yes, it is.
It's kind of obvious that it's Skywalker because he's the only Anakin in the entire.
Okay, it wasn't Anakin Jones. That's right. That's right. So, hey, all right, Olivia, thanks for playing trivia with us. And
Another
we'll
benchmark.
be back with more a little bit later.
McConkey.
All right, we got another trivia challenger here, and it's our friend Ryan. And you've got your own podcast, right?
Yes, it's called The Ron Show. On I do new podcasts that I started mainly to avoid my neighbors, and I started it. It was something I restarted it last October. So what I ended up doing was I just figured like, okay, I'll just call all my friends and stuff and see if they wanted to just come on and talk about things. I've interviewed people like. I did an interview with CeCe Peniston. I've interviewed it's countless people. I think I've done maybe 50 or 60 shows, and it's mainly a hobby, and it's a lot of great stuff. You can see it, you can find it on Spreaker Studio, on Spreaker Radio, and also you can find it on iTunes. Just look up The Ron Show on iTunes.
Maybe we'll figure out how to get that linked in our show notes here.
I will text it. I'll text it to you
Cool,
and
man.
stuff. I'll send you a text.
So your experience with Star Wars is slim to none, right?
It's pretty slim to none. When I was a kid, my mom got me, I want to say it was this quiz thing. It was this quiz game for Christmas. And the quiz game was really about the first 3 Star Wars, like Star Wars, Return of the Jedi and The Empire Strikes Back.
All right.
And I never watched any of the, like, if it was something like baseball or anything else, I probably would know it. But it was all Star Wars questions. So every time I would play the game, I would be like, okay, I'm just gonna take educated guesses on it because I don't know I know little to nothing
Well, right on. Okay.
about Star Wars.
Well, all right. Well, I'll stick to the original 3 movies then.
Okay.
And
these are all multiple choice, right?
I'll give you multiple choice
Okay,
as best
great.
I can, unless you know the answer outright and you just
I
want to
probably
impress
wouldn't.
everybody. Okay. So we'll start off. This is from the first one, Star Wars: A New Hope.
Okay.
What planet does Princess Leia consider her home world?
Okay.
Is it Naboo, Alderaan, or Tatooine?
I want to say Tatooine.
It is not Tatooine. It is Alderaan. It was
Oh,
Alderaan. You're looking for answers in Alderaan places. Ba-dum-bum. All right. So let's see here. All right. This again also is from the first Star Wars movie, A New Hope.
Okay.
What does R2-D2, the little trash can droid, what does R2-D2 claim has short-circuited his recording system?
Mm-hmm.
Is it C-3PO's arm, a lightsaber, or a restraining bolt?
I want to say B.
The lightsaber?
Yeah.
No, it is the restraining bolt. It's a restraining bolt. All right, let's see here. I'm looking from the first 3. All right. Again, from A New Hope,
Okay.
the first Star Wars movie. What aliens does C-3PO deride as, quote, disgusting creatures? Is it the Ewoks, the Jawas, or the Sand People?
I want to say Ewoks.
It's Jawas.
Oh,
It's
it is?
Jawas, yeah. So, you know what this means? It means you're going to have to come over to our house. We're going to have to, like, give Ryan some Star Wars education, you know, and you're
Yes.
going to get you into watching the movies.
Yeah,
And,
it's like I say, like I remember like people were like so enthused about it when like I was like 11 or 12 years old, and I remember people were like being enthused. This was like when I think it was Jake Elliott or the little kid that was that was in the movies.
Well, Jake Lloyd was
Jake
Anakin
Lloyd.
in Phantom Menace.
And
Yep.
I remember how people were like just so excited about the movies, and me personally, I could never get into it because my attention span is like, it's probably like the length of Marengo Street in New Orleans. It's probably the length of Marengo Street, but you know, me personally, but in terms of like, I know like all the characters and stuff, but it was always amazing. It's really amazing to see like how people like Billy D. Williams and James Earl Jones, you know, they were like probably two of the first African Americans to be featured in like a sci-fi film. Like we're not talking about
Probably.
like sci-fi film. I mean like sci-fi TV shows. We're talking about sci-fi films. And I could always do the deep voice like James Earl Jones, like Luke, I am your father. You know, I could always do something like that. But in terms of like trivia, it's like over my head and stuff.
Well,
But
when you watch Star Wars a gazillion times, it kind of gets stuck in there. But
right, it's sort of like I have like an encyclopedic knowledge of baseball, and it's like I can remember things. Like I could see something.
yeah, see, I can't. I if you asked me a baseball question, I wouldn't have a clue.
And it's just like I'll tell you this, and I'm gonna let y'all go. When I was a kid, there was a guy, we called him T-Mac. He was like the best basketball player in our neighborhood. And me, I was like the best baseball player in the neighborhood. And with him, anytime he tried to play baseball, he was not that good. But when it came to me playing baseball, it was just like clockwork to me. And I told him, he's like, Ryan, you play baseball like you play baseball like I play basketball, and I play baseball like you play basketball. So it's kind of like that same dynamic.
I play Star Wars like you play baseball.
Right.
Yeah, I got
right,
you.
Right.
Hey,
But
thanks
look,
for playing trivia with
thanks
us,
for
though, man.
having me, man. Thanks
That was
for having
awesome.
McConkey.
All right, so we have some trivia takers here, and it's Sydney and Cade, right? And Sydney is wearing the Star Wars poster, the Japanese Star Wars poster. So that's just like, she must be the ringer in this group. Cade is not wearing a Star Wars shirt,
Wow.
so he missed the theme.
I should have
Yeah.
come in my Darth Vader voice changing mask.
But like I said, so you can both share that microphone. And so
be
are we
close
going
to-
head to head, or do you guys want to play as a team? And like, just,
Head to head, I guess.
all right. So we'll do the best of 3 here, and these questions are all from the first 6 movies. There's none of the sequels, no Rogue One, no Disney
Aw,
stuff.
my
I should have
favorite.
practiced at home. I think I have
Oh
this.
God.
So all right, so ladies first. We'll go to Sydney here. Who reveals to Luke that he has a sister? Who reveals to Luke that he has a sister?
Obi-Wan.
It is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Wow. you couldn't even.
One for Sydney. All right, so we'll go to Cade now. Who sends pilots into the asteroid field, noting asteroids do not concern me?
Darth Vader.
It is Darth Vader. We are tied 1-1.
Yes.
All right. So now to Sydney. What spear-like weapons do sand people wield? What spear-like weapons do sand people wield?
What are they called? I have.
That's the point of the question, yeah. Is what they're called,
Sticks.
Oh, it is something sticks.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Are you guys playing against each other, or now are you partners?
Okay, I don't know.
Well, it is something sticks. It is a gaffy stick.
Oh God, I would
or
never.
or a Gatterfee stick.
I would
so.
never. I'm not smart enough for this, Dad.
All right, so Cade, what Imperial starfighters have bent wings and twin body pods? What Imperial starfighters have bent wings and twin body
TIE
pods?
bombers.
Oh my gosh, you are a ringer. It is
I
a
would
TIE
not.
bomber.
I'm not good enough at this. I'm just
All
not.
right.
I just can't.
Cade
do it.
is up 2-1. All right, Sydney, it's time to get some payback here. Who's the gruesome Ewok banquet intended to honor?
I'm not good enough at this. Oh
Who's
my
the
God.
gruesome Ewok banquet intended to honor? Who are they honoring with their banquet?
Luke Skywalker.
No.
Who? I literally haven't seen
Remember,
Return of the Jedi. in
they
10
treating him
years.
as a god.
Treated who as a god? I don't know. I'm not good at this.
It is C-3PO.
Oh,
C-3PO.
this is just embarrassing for me.
All right, so
All right, Dad.
Cade, here we go.
You're gonna win.
What 3 characters are surprisingly dry after they swim to Oda Gunga?
After they what?
After they swim to Oda Gunga.
Oh, I could. Wow, I could get this one.
And these are
I know
3
prequels better, I guess.
characters.
3 characters.
I could get this one.
Well, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon Jinn, and I guess Jar Jar Binks. Is he with them?
That is correct. That is correct.
Yes.
I guess I know prequels better. It's fine.
So Cade wins 3-1.
Oh,
But I
Sidney
think we should give
crushed.
Sydney props for the Japanese Star Wars
Yeah.
shirt. So
I just bought this at Peaches, so
it's all right.
Good job,
it's
baby.
not like I went out.
Well, thanks for
looking
playing
for it.
trivia with the Who Dat Jedi podcast. That was
Thank
awesome.
you.
Nice to meet you.
McConkey.
All right, trivia continues. We have 3 more competitors. I suppose if you guys want to just say who you are. Like I said, you're sharing the microphone, so lean in and just announce yourself.
I'm Christy.
I'm Eddie. I'm Jacob.
Eddie, Christy, and Jacob. All right, cool. Well, we'll start with Eddie. And so we're going to go around the horn twice. Or maybe 3 times. I mean, what are we going to do? All we have to do is drink beer and do trivia, right? So, all right. So, Eddie, first of all, what diplomat is vice chairman of the Senate under Chancellor Valorum and Palpatine? Oh my goodness!
Chairman of the Senate.
Holy cow! You got dealt
Under
from the bottom of the
Chancellor
deck.
Valorum, it's Palpatine.
What
whatever his
diplomat
real-
is vice chairman of the Senate under Chancellors Valorum and Palpatine?
Is it the guy that adopts Leia? I can't think of his name. I'm not allowed to help you. Jimmy Smith.
That's the most un-Star Wars name ever, but it's not Bail Organa. Jacob, do you know?
That's who I thought.
You don't have to answer if you don't want to.
Yeah, I thought it was Organa.
It's Mas Amata.
Yeah, I never would have got that. Your French fries are probably ready.
All right.
No,
Christy, you're up now. Who orders his pilots to concentrate their fire on Darth Vader's flagship? Who orders his pilots to concentrate their fire on Darth Vader's flagship?
Lando.
Well, that's a pretty good guess. But it's Admiral Akbar.
McConkey.
That was my other one.
By the way, I'm still mad that Ole Miss didn't that Lucasfilm did not let Ole Miss use Admiral Akbar when they were changing their mascot.
They were replacing Colonel Reb.
That would have been awesome to have.
That was my other thought.
I would have bought that shirt. All right,
I'm not listening to you anymore.
Jacob.
Yes, sir.
All right, who does Yoda admonish? Qui-Gon's defiance I sense in you. Need that you do not. So who does Yoda admonish? Qui-Gon's defiance I sense in you. Need that you do not.
Obi-Wan.
It is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yay.
Jacob's on the board.
Yay! I got
Alright.
the easy one. Boo.
All right, so we're back to Eddie here. What structure do Ewok scouts show the rebels the quickest route to?
It's the power generator for the moon base.
I will take that. The shield generator. Yes, I will take
Well
that.
done.
I knew that one.
Sure.
Right on.
It's the Ewoks.
5 points for Christy for knowing that one.
And now
I always get them wrong, but I knew them.
5-1-1 now.
All right. Well, on the subject of Ewoks, what trio are carried to the Ewok village hanging upside down from wooden spits? What trio are carried to the Ewok village hanging upside down from wooden spits?
Luke,
Yes.
Han,
Yes.
You got it. I believe in you.
Who would be with them?
Leia's with him, but she's not upside down. R2-D2.
You know what? I almost want to take that one because R2-D2 is tied to some. He's tied to something. So
He got dropped.
I'm going to accept that, even though they said Chewbacca. He was attached to. So if you're all good at that, I'm giving that to her because that's kind of.
Because he made an obnoxious clank when he fell.
Yep, you are correct.
They had him on like a dolly.
Yeah.
Yep, you're correct. You're correct. I'm gonna give that.
Thank you.
All right, you bet. See, we're fair here at the Who Dat Jedi podcast. Because I know what it's like to get trivia questions that are bogus. So, Jacob, who does Jocasta Nu dismiss, scoffing, "It looks like the system you're searching for doesn't exist"? Who does Jocasta Nu dismiss, scoffing, quote, "It looks like the system you're searching for doesn't exist"?
Is it Obi-Wan Kenobi again?
It is Obi-Wan Kenobi. It is Obi-Wan Kenobi. All right, so we're going to do another round here because Jacob is up 2. You each have 1, Eddie and Christy. So
I'll give this to Dave.
we could end up tied. Dave, they want you to take a picture here. So quit Facebooking and,
No, we're tweeting.
I sounded so 1997 there. Okay. Let's see here.
I'm sure it's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, me with my reading glasses finding a question. That was an awesome picture of me. I didn't even pose.
You look great.
All right, Eddie, what type of infantry robot is equipped with a double laser cannon on its right manipulator? What type of infantry robot is equipped with a double laser cannon on its right manipulator? I can't believe I pronounced all those correctly.
Watching the little walker guy from the video games that puts the shield around him. I don't know his name though. I don't know.
It's actually a super battle droid.
Oh, the silver guys.
The super battle droid.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
know that from
So you're
Battlefront.
you're out of reach of Jacob, but I have your shirt, so
So bonus point.
bonus points. All right. So Christy, who calls Han Solo bantha fodder? Who calls Han Solo bantha fodder?
Luke.
It was Jabba the Hutt.
Oh, of course it was.
In Huttese, he said
I almost would have said Greedo there.
bantha poodoo, but all right. So Jacob, to just totally smoke them, I'll give you one more here.
Oh boy. The deep cuts for this one.
Do you listen? Do you listen to the Who Dat Jedi podcast? It's okay if you say no. All right. So I'm going to give you the question that I have been lamenting every episode that we talk about trivia.
Okay.
Because we were playing bar trivia, and I'm going to give you the microphone here a little bit more so you can your voice comes out. So I'm going to give you the question that I got and I raised a big snit about. And I remember this verbatim. We were playing bar trivia as a bunch of friends. Harvested from the planet Jeddah, kyber crystals are used to power what Star Wars weapon?
Lightsaber.
Oh, Eddie wants to disagree with you. Eddie, you have a different answer?
It's the Death Star cannon.
Both answers are correct. Both answers are correct. So this is what happened when we got that question. I went up straight to the trivia jockey and I said, in a very hushed tone, I gave her the dissertation on Star Wars. I was like, it could be either the lightsaber or the Death Star. And she had no clue. She didn't know Star Wars from anything.
Yeah.
And she said, I go with the less nerdy answer. I'm like, the less nerdy answer, really? And so I wrote, I said, since you referenced Rogue One, which is all about the Death Star, I'm writing down the Death Star, and we got it wrong. We got it wrong. It was the lightsaber.
So kyber crystals are the same as force crystals?
Kyber crystals are used to power, both.
Can I petition the fact that perhaps the Death Star's
if you're going to petition, you got to use the microphone.
The Death Star's main weapon is a lightsaber. Just a really big one. If it's powered the same way and essentially functions the same way.
Fair.
Okay,
So-
hold up. I was going to say it was the Omega 13. How
what,
nerdy are we here?
What reference did you just pull out there? What, is this an EU thing?
Galaxy Quest.
Oh, Galaxy Quest. Okay. Well, I want to thank Eddie and Jacob and Christy for playing trivia with us.
Thank you.
Feel free to take some stickers and some
Thank
cards
you, thank
or
you.
whatever, and listen to our podcast, and you'll hear more trivia every week.
It's a lot of fun.
Matanki.
All right, so we're going to do some more Star Wars trivia here, and I am joined by a person. I don't know. Are we going to use your real name?
Andrew.
All right, so we're using a fake name then. All right, that's a really original fake name. All right, so as do you listen to our podcast?
I've listened to a few.
All right, so you know that this trivia game is just the first 6 movies. So no Disney era stuff to throw a wrench at you. And I have to wear my old man reading glasses because that's what happens when you're 48. All right, so let's start off with who tries to lock down a loose stabilizer during the first Death Star battle? Who tries to lock down a loose stabilizer during the first Death Star battle?
I have no idea.
You want to make it multiple choice?
Sure.
All right. So is it Luke Skywalker, R2D2, or Biggs Darklighter?
R2D2.
It is R2D2. There you go. See? Right on. All right. So you're 1 for 1. All right. Who overhears orders to have his mind wiped while waiting in the corridor of the Tantive 4? Who overhears orders to have his mind wiped while waiting in the corridor of the Tantive 4? Revenge of the Sith.
I'm just going to go with Jar Jar Binks.
C-3PO. All right, so you're 1-1. All right. Next one. Who advises Anakin, train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose? Yoda, and that is another Revenge of the Sith one. Right on. All right. You're 2-1. We'll do one more here. And what is your favorite Star Wars movie, first of all?
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back. All right, so let me see if I can find Empire Strikes Back one here. Oh, here we go. Empire Strikes Back right off the bat. What rebel pilot boasts, quote, right now I feel like I could take on the entire Empire myself? What rebel pilot boasts, right now I feel like I could take on the whole Empire myself?
Luke.
That was Luke's gunner.
Yeah. I don't remember his name.
It's a very ironic line. It was Dak. It was Dak, because Dak dies then like 2 minutes later. So, hey, well, thanks for playing trivia with us.
50-50.
That's right. Well, okay, we gotta end you on top here. Hold on. We can't end 2 for 2. That's just wrong. All right, another Empire movie. Empire one. What Cloud City executive has a brain-enhancing device wrapped around the back of his skull? He's like Lando's virtual secretary or something.
I can picture it, but I can't. I don't remember his name.
All right, so I'm going to do a little bit of word association with you, because if you have part of your brain removed, what is that called?
Lobotomy.
That should lead you to the character's name.
I really don't remember.
Oh, okay, well, the character's name, Lobot.
Okay.
So there you go. Lobot, lobotomy. So, right on. All right, well, very cool. Andrew, thanks for playing.
Thank you.
Right on.
Matanki.
All right, so we got more trivia here at Zony Mash, with the Who Dat Jedi podcast. We have a ringer back. Sydney is back. And you brought your entire family this time? Is that what it is?
Different family.
Different family.
Hunting up families.
You just know her. She set you up, is what this is.
Yes,
All right.
exactly.
So if you just want to go around and say who you are real quick, you don't have to give your whole name and address or anything. But I know we got William and Tess and Lisa and Sydney and Josie. Josie, you pronounce it Josie. I picked that one up. All right, cool. So, see, I remembered most of them. I'm very sorry. I forgot your name. All right. So the way we do trivia here, it's just the first 6 movies. So just there's nothing in the Disney era. So nothing recent. It's all old stuff. Oh, so Tess is mad now?
No, she hasn't seen the last 3 either. So.
I haven't seen any of them.
You haven't seen any of them?
Yeah. Oh no.
Is she being punished or what? Is this? I mean, all right. So, are we doing teams here? Is that what I gather?
That's 2 versus
You two on 3. All right. So, who wants to go first? Do we have a preference?
Okay.
You've been volunteered. All right. So, to William and crew, I have to put on my old man reading glasses here. Who makes the tactical blunder of dismissing Darth Vader's powers as sorcerer's ways? Ooh, that's a tough one right off the bat.
I don't know what his name is.
Who makes the tactical blunder of dismissing Darth Vader's powers as sorcerer's ways? I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you this multiple choice, because this is kind of a question that I was going to characterize in a way that I don't want to in front of your kids. All right, so it's is it Admiral Ozzel, Admiral Piet, or Admiral Mahdi?
Last one, maybe? I don't know. Sure. Last one.
Admiral Mahdi? That is the correct answer. That is the correct answer.
It's the only name I recognize.
I don't even.
I actually have my picture taken with Admiral Ozzel and Admiral Piet, so it's autographed in my room. I'm one of my favorite things. So. All right, so to our other team here, who claims to be more powerful than the Chancellor?
Anakin Skywalker? No. Oh, wait. Okay, no. Yeah, Anakin. I don't know.
Why would you say no? That's what I was just gonna ask.
Yeah,
What was your other
I
answer?
don't know.
Okay.
Because when I said it, I was like, that seems obvious. I don't know.
It is the obvious answer. It is Anakin Skywalker. We would have also accepted Darth Vader. All right.
I don't know. That's way too obvious.
So it's something that happens sometimes. You know, sometimes Dave will get the crappy question to start off with, and then Fredo will get the easy one. Kind of the way it rolls. All right. So to you three here, who's the first character seen in The Empire Strikes Back?
First character seen in The Empire Strikes Back.
First character seen in The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, it's not Frozen Han Solo. Okay, R2-D2.
It is Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker. So we'll put that in the miss column. All right. What Jedi is stunned by a blow to the nose with a lightsaber handle before he's killed by its blade? What Jedi is stunned by a blow to the nose with a lightsaber handle before he is killed by its blade?
Okay, it has to be a Jedi.
Luke.
No, oh my God, Luke doesn't die.
It's done. That's not dying.
No, before he is killed by its blade. Oh my God.
It's gotta be from the first three.
Qui-Gon?
Way to pull that answer out. Yes, it is Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh my God!
I'm literally a genius.
I think she sandbagged you there on that one. She's pretending like she didn't know it.
That was the only Jedi that came to mind.
All right, so who confidently asks two Jedi to hand over their lightsabers, noting, "We don't want to make a mess of things in front of the Chancellor"?
I feel like this one's supposed to be easy and I don't have the foggiest idea.
Who confidently asks two Jedi to hand over their lightsabers, noting, "We don't want to make a mess of things in front of the Chancellor"?
I don't know. I could say my guess. I can guess based
Do you,
on
I can give you a multiple choice. I can give you a multiple choice. Is it Darth Maul, Count Dooku, or General Grievous?
Sure.
General Grievous.
It is actually Count Dooku. It's Count Dooku.
said that. No.
All right. One more round here. Oh, my glasses. All right. Who barks "No blasters" when one of the Mos Eisley Cantina patrons draw a weapon? Who barks "No blasters" when one of the Mos Eisley Cantina patrons draw a weapon? Draws a weapon, sorry.
One of the cantina patrons draws a weapon.
Oh, this is crap. They don't even ask for the real name. I only need the occupation.
Like, I don't know, a bartender? What if...
See, I gave it away. It is the bartender. But because you're wearing the Japanese, you have to give me the Japanese Star Wars shirt. You have to give me the guy's name.
No idea. Absolutely no idea.
The guy's name in Japanese. Japanese.
It's actually were. So.
Oh, God.
But I'll have to give that to you. All right. Here we go. Last one. Who takes on Obi-Wan Kenobi with a lightsaber in each of his four arms?
In the what? In the where?
With each of his four arms.
Who takes on Obi-Wan Kenobi with a lightsaber in each one of his four arms?
I know two. I should have gotten this question.
Nate, if you know, tell them. Tell them. You want to take Nate's answer? It is General Grievous. That is correct. That is correct. Well, thank you guys for playing trivia with us tonight. That was awesome.
Good job. You're literally
McConkey.
All right, next up on trivia, we have a father and son battle. We have Dave versus his son, Nate.
Yeah, we do.
Nate, do you think you're going to win? Do you think you can beat your dad?
He just gave us his angry face.
He did. Nate is dressed for the occasion. He is in his Kylo Ren garb.
Kind of loose.
I mean,
I drank steak.
He took the mask off right now because he's eating a sandwich.
He's
So-
eating a sandwich. He's spewing po' boy drippings everywhere.
I jinxed it.
All right. So, Nate, do you want to go first? All right.
All right, Nate's going first.
All right. Nate, what are the color of the stripes? I'm sorry, what color are the stripes of Anakin's pod racer? What color are the stripes of Anakin's pod racer? You
Right
need
here.
to talk into the microphone. What'd you say?
Say what?
Blue.
With a mouthful of po' boy, he gives a correct answer of blue. Nate is up 1-0.
Oh,
I got one.
you got it.
All right, Dave. Who continues to reassemble C-3PO during the Millennium Falcon's escape from Cloud City? Who continues to reassemble C-3PO during the Millennium Falcon's escape from Cloud City?
Pretty sure that's R2D2.
It is R2D2.
We've watched the movies. We know what answers.
Sounds a little cocky there, Dave. All right, Nate, you're up.
This kid does not lack for confidence.
All right, Nate, here's your question. Who does Yoda warn, careful you must be when seeing the future? Who does Yoda warn, careful you must be when sensing the future?
Come here. You gotta answer into the mic.
Luke Skywalker.
It's not that loud though.
It's actually Anakin Skywalker.
It was Anakin.
I'm so close.
Now, Yoda does talk to Luke about seeing the future.
Yep, he does.
But he didn't warn him. So, all right. Dave, to you. Harvested from the planet Jeddah. Oh, I'm sorry, wait. Who prevents Boba Fett from blasting Chewbacca in the carbon freezing chamber?
Darth Vader?
It is Darth Vader. That's always been such an interesting scene to me. Like, why did he care? Some people actually, you know what the fanboys have said, that it's because he recognized C-3PO and C-3PO was on Chewbacca's back.
I've actually heard that theory bandied about. I don't think I buy it.
So, all right, Nate, are you ready? All right.
They're up there.
Who performs parlor tricks with sliced fruit?
Yeah.
Oh, this is kind of a mean question. So this is an Attack of the Clones.
Remember, you gotta come
Okay.
back to here to answer. Okay.
This is an Attack of the Clones. Who performs tricks with sliced fruit? Fruit, like a pear.
Who does a trick with sliced fruit?
You got to talk into the microphone.
Do you remember?
You know what W.C. Fields said, right, Dave?
What was that?
You know what W.C. Fields said, right?
What?
Never perform with animals or kids.
Anakin.
Oh my
It is Anakin Skywalker.
No.
All right, it's 2-2.
2-2. The pressure builds.
All right, Dave. Who pilots a Gungan bongo to feed?
What?
Who pilots a Gungan bongo to feed? It's really loud in here. And it's got
Oh, yeah. It is very loud in here at this point. The rain has picked up outside. People have come indoors. I think that's Qui-Gon.
It is actually Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan's the pilot.
Obi-Wan's the pilot. All right.
Ah. Tiebreaker?
This is the tiebreaker. All right, Nate, are you ready? Because you guys are tied 2-2. So you got to get this one right. Who claims to be, quote, not very good at telling stories? Not yet.
C-3PO.
It is C-3PO. I'm declaring Nate the winner. Nate.
Oh, no. I've been defeated.
I'm declaring Nate the winner at this round of trivia.
Oh,
Nate, good
man,
job.
Nate wins again.
All right, so the rain is starting to come down here at Zony Mash, and everybody's moving inside, and it's becoming really loud. I've been having to yell at people for trivia, and they've been having to yell back at me. But it's been a fun night, but we just want to wrap up some things. But Fredo has some breaking news from May the 4th. You don't have to read it off. Just tell what you know.
No, basically, it's been officially confirmed that Aaron's future favorite ride, Galactic Star Cruiser at Walt Disney World, will come in 2022. So apparently that reveal of the lightsaber that we saw today, the video that everybody shared, it's related to that.
So here's my thing. It's like, what? That's a dumb name for it too. Why didn't they give it like the name of like one of the Star Destroyers from the movies? Galactic Star Cruiser sounds like dumb.
Well, because the fact of the matter is, if you call it Galactic, Star Destroyer, you're gonna feel like you're gonna be working on the job.
Yeah, and the lightsaber. So, what do you guys think? Is the lightsaber going to be available for purchase in other parts of the park, or is it going to be just an exclusive for the Star Cruiser? Did he swear on air?
He just flung sandwich parts at Fredo.
No,
it's not the worst that's been thrown at
Do
me.
we think it's going to be exclusive only to the Star Cruiser, the Star Wars prison, or is it going to be like at Savvy's workshop, or
maybe
at
the start? Maybe
Doc
at the start.
At the start, it's going to be an exclusive. You won't be able to get it anywhere else, so that people will go to the thing.
So you're gonna have a family, a rich family of people like going to stay there, and a bunch of like 20-something nerd boys who look like pedophiles, so they can get their retractable lightsaber.
That's basically it. Yes.
That's the hook.
And sorry, that's not enough for me to still go on that thing. I don't know. I don't know why I'm so anti Star Cruiser, but it just.
I mean,
if it was anywhere other than Disney, it's like Disney is such a destination that. I mean, I can't imagine asking Brittany to like take 3 days or whatever of our Disney vacation to live in a Star Wars prison.
Part of the thing they've said is that it's 2 days maximum. So it's only a 2-day event. So the moment you get in to the moment you're out, it's 2 days. So if you plan a 7-day vacation,
all right,
you can plan to.
So kind of related. This was a little bit of news. Let me ask you this, because Dave, you didn't get to go on the Rise of the Resistance when you were in Disney.
That's right.
And so Fredo and I, neither of us have been on there. Disneyland in California is opening up, and they're having to trim 3 minutes from the ride to fall under COVID protocols, because right now the ride is like 18 minutes. So they've had to trim like 3 minutes of like what you do, some of the standing around stuff.
All the stuff, some of the stuff that you do when you're in line waiting to get in or stop.
Would you go, if it's your first time on Rise of the Resistance, would you go on it knowing that you're getting gypped out of 3 minutes?
Yeah, I would.
I say no. I wouldn't.
I say yes only because you're also getting fewer people in the park.
Now let's remember also that if we're going to Florida, it doesn't matter, because
Florida's all good. There's no COVID in Florida.
There is no COVID in Florida, so they're not doing it there. But I don't know, Dave. Would you?
I think if it's your first time, you wouldn't really know the difference.
Okay, let me ask you this, because you did get to go on the Millennium Falcon ride.
Right.
Now let's just say, and this is not anything that they're not doing this because that ride's not as long as Rise of the Resistance. But what if they said, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to hang out in the hollow chess area and take pictures and stuff like that. They just get you straight to the cockpit, fly your mission, and get the hell out. Would you go on that ride?
I'd go back on, yeah, because I got my pictures with the hollow chess area.
That's not the question. Okay, Fredo, let me ask you, would you do that if you couldn't hang around in the hollow chess area?
I would still do it. Again, and the weird thing is,
Fredo's easy is what we're saying.
No. Because what I'm thinking is, yes, you are going to lose some of your experience, but what you're losing, you're also gaining in terms of smaller crowds, easier access. You can probably go back and do it again. The other question I have is, would they have 6 people in the cockpit or were they limited to say 4, 3, or 4? Now you're 2 pilots and a gunner as opposed to 2 pilots, 2 gunners, and
you got to be like
engineers.
Ray piloting the Millennium Falcon without
Exactly.
a co-pilot. You're kind of like Cartman buying Cartman land so he can go on all the rides with no crowds.
That's right. I want to raise the Sopapilla flag like 10 times.
So no, I guess that's why Brittany and I were supposed to go to Disney a year ago May, and obviously that got canceled. And now I'm like, with all the things that are still closed, I'm still like, no, I'm gonna put off that vacation because I don't want to get gypped out of 3 minutes of Rise of the Resistance. Especially because it's not like, I think we talked about this offline, that if it's like if you're an annual pass holder, then yes, I'll do that in a heartbeat. It's like we talked about, like if Six Flags was still open here in New Orleans, I would have a membership there and go every day and ride roller coasters, whatever. So 3 minutes out of Rise of Resistance, I would be okay with that because I know I'd be going back once COVID's not again. But when I go to Disney like once every, like seemingly 5 years or something like that, or 10 years for some people, or once in a lifetime for some people, it's like, do you really want to gyp yourselves out of those 3 minutes?
I don't think I'd let it prevent me from going, but I am very disappointed in the decision because of what we talked about it in terms of a lack of egalitarianism with it. It's like you go to friggin' Star Wars land and everything costs money.
Well, and be clear, this is because of California versus Florida's
COVID
laws.
Right. And I understand they're in a tough spot. They have to make the call, but it's like one of the free things that you can do.
Stand in line.
One of the only free things that you can do in that land. And they're like, we're going to shave a few minutes off of it. No big deal. I agree. I understand why people would be mad and why they would say, I don't want to do this. Like, what are you doing? But for me personally, I'd still go. I think I'd still go.
Yeah, if I knew, put it this way, it's a lot easier to say if I knew I was going back. No, it's a lot more difficult, like you're saying, if you're making this decision as a one-time, I don't know if or when I'll be back, to say, okay, give away that extra bit of experience. But I still think there's overall value in it still, and I still go back to the idea of, look, you're going to get to go to a Disney World park, or Disneyland park in this case, and you're going to be sharing it with fewer people. Your lines are going to be shorter. You're more likely to get a second run at the ride, without it costing you an hour. So I think that there's a trade-off that you're making. And plus, I don't know if everybody's going to be comfortable once they say, okay, we're putting back those 3 minutes, but everything's back to normal. How comfortable you're going to be in the large crowd setting? This might be a good way to find out.
By the way, we've all been to Disney World, yeah?
Yes.
Have you been to Disneyland, Dave?
Yeah, way back.
Have you been to Disneyland?
No, I had a day and I went to Universal Studios instead.
Disneyland is like driving through New Orleans traffic.
Yeah.
I could not stand Disneyland. Brittany and I were like, of course, we've been to Disney World so many times. Disneyland is so compact. Like I said, it's like driving across a bridge. You just wanted to kill people in the happiest place on earth.
It's very much a park for one day. You recognize that this is a park. There's time for you to go in, do everything you want to do, and get out, and you're done. Disney World, it's a whole mini city where, no, we're keeping you here, and you're gonna do everything.
So anyway, well, that's our little controversial discussion, for the evening. Aaron still sounds like get off his lawn. Fredo is, the peacekeeper, So, thank you to Zoni Mash for letting us set up. It was so nice to do a podcast in person again, and all vaccinated up and everything like that. And hopefully, I don't know if the band is still playing or anything like that.
Sound like they still are, but then might.
They're playing a song right now for Kate and Dave. So I think we need to sign off and say, who dat?
Who dat?
Who dat?
And we'll see y'all later. Thanks, guys.
Matanki.